Hear me out. The FBI and Nintendo working hand in hand. I know. You're thinking to yourself, what?
Some of the government, some of it is pretty corrupt.
The FBI assisting a corporation. Yeah, I know. Your reaction was the same as mine. Except, I had an anxiety-induced THC reaction to that news. I couldn't believe my eyes, but it's real. The feds, instead of, cracking down on real crime, are gathering their resources together to ensure that every single dollar Nintendo makes is protected and in their hands. You're probably thinking to yourself, damn, I wish the FBI would protect, the average citizen to a degree, but sorry, you're not a billion-dollar company. And before you ask, yes, the obvious should be obvious. Nintendo shills are 100% celebrating the FBI cracking down on emulation instead of cracking down on the Epstein files. What more do you expect from Nintendo, guys? But we'll get to them in a second. First, I just want to remind everybody that we are close to achieving this little popsicle stick's dreams of 100k subs. At long last, when my family pushed me out of that nest and expected me to die, I'll be able to come back to them with the silver play button. Yeah, I know, it's pathetic. But if you make my dreams come true, then I'll make your memes a reality. With channels like mine, you no longer have to worry about all those mid-slop YouTube creators who told you the Switch 2 was the Antichrist and still went out and bought it. And for Tenga, you can trust. Subscribe to me so we can show all those jackasses exactly how it's done. Cause believe me, you ain't gonna find anybody else who's more obsessively consistent. With that being said, let's get right into the news! Today, it was revealed that the FBI has taken down Nintendo Switch 2U, a website connected with piracy on Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2U hosted plenty of ROMs for games on the console. If you had a hacked Nintendo Switch or a working PC emulator, some could download content from the site and play those titles without legally purchasing them. The FBI went after the website in accordance with a seizure warrant issued pursuant to 18 U.S.C. 2323, issued by the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia as part of a law enforcement operation and action by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. This notice is provided when attempting to access Nintendo Switch 2U. Dutch agency FIOD was also involved in the takedown. Piracy has been an ongoing battle for Nintendo over the years. During the Switch era, things seemed to ramp up, in part because the system was hacked early on. One of the more recent developments involved Nintendo filing 2 lawsuits against modded hardware and MIG devices, as well as James Williams, who was said to be involved with pirate shops that distribute unauthorized games. Nintendo also went after popular Nintendo Switch emulators Yuzu and Ryujinx.
I am not paying taxes.
Next thing you know, the FBI is gonna report to us that this ROM site killed itself. Holy shit, a month ago when I reported that story about a ROP chain exploit on the Switch 2 that would lead to early hacking, there was a lot of Nintendo guys who were outright tagging the FBI. And we were laughing at them. I made mockery of it. I said, why would the FBI waste their time doing that? They're not that stupid, right? No, they are that stupid. They are that wasteful and useless. They are really actually gonna burn your tax dollars in real time for a billion-dollar corporation. Think about that. Instead of pursuing one of the biggest traffic rings of all time, they're gonna waste all of their efforts taking down one ROM site as another one pops up right next to it. Then they're going to go for that one, and then another one's going to pop up, and another one.
If tomorrow my
website
goes under, I will just start another
website,
and then another, and another, and another. I have no shortage.
And these days, everybody is sharing ROMs on Discord, so good luck tracking all of those Discord accounts and servers. This is such a fruitless endeavor. It's a complete waste of time. Instead of providing proper Nintendo Switch 1 backwards compatibility without all the issues going on right now, Nintendo unleashes their dog, the FBI, to go and take down one ROM site. Congratulations. I don't even know why you're bothering. You're the ones that made your system so easy to hack, so easy to emulate, so easy to dump files. And now our American tax dollars have to go to waste to stop it. Because that's what it is, a giant waste. You have a marginally better chance of ending the drug war, but it seems we were wrong. We really underestimated autism. Those Nintendo shills spending all day tagging the FBI in ROM posts or emulation posts really did end up working. Not only is Nintendo bricking people's consoles, but they're bricking entire websites. It's hilarious to me that anybody would find this a win over piracy. You're not gonna ever be able to beat piracy unless you actually take video game ownership away, and Nintendo guys would prefer that over having emulation exist at all, which is insane. But not as insane as the idea that the US government thinks they can actually stop it, much less stop someone like me from finding other ways to emulate. Because in this current market where purchasing games does not mean you actually own them, people are going to find any single way to bypass the ridiculous prices Nintendo's putting on people. For instance, to this day, if you still want to get the Super Mario Bros. 3D All-Stars that Nintendo stopped selling on their eShop and stopped producing intentionally, sites like that were your best bet in order to preserve something that Nintendo intentionally made scarce or outright stopped selling to consumers, and on purpose too. Now if you want to own that game, it's $144 if you're trying to get the absolute cheapest version off of someone, and that's if you're lucky enough. And the price is only going to continue going up as the years pass by. Eventually, within time, a game like that is going to be unobtainably expensive. So thank you, US government. I love seeing my tax dollars put to good use. These sites have been up for years, and if you're just getting to them now, well, that just goes to show you how slow the FBI operates. But I mean, congratulations, you just made it so it takes me 10 minutes longer to get what I want. So that's billions well spent. This is just so stupid because almost every single Switch 1 game that has already been pirated or emulated is backed up on millions of other people's computers or devices, and they're gonna make their way back to another website or be distributed any other way. This is like when the DEA busts a weed farm. Yes, you're making great strides, sure. Now there is a chart comparing the traffic between all these ROM sites. I don't want to bring it up for obvious reasons. I'm sure the FBI is already watching my videos, wasting your tax dollars. But yes, Nintendo Switch 2U.com was the most popular one with 4.7 million visits. However, that being said, there's still websites that reach 3.2 million, 3.4 million, 2.7 million. All this is going to do is redirect traffic to those other websites. So I'm not exactly sure what we've accomplished here. They're high-fiving each other, cracking bottles of champagne because they killed a ROM site, but they haven't killed ROMs. You can end drug empires, but you can't end drugs. You get what I'm saying? Luckily for us, Nintendo guys are that stupid. They think that there's just one website all PC gamers go to. So they're celebrating like this is the end of emulation, not realizing that what they're facing is a Hydra.
The broke bum section of the Steam Deck community is scattering like roaches.
Why? Most Steam Deck users have these things installed already. You guys don't get it. They don't understand how any of it works. They really think by taking down one website, they've ended it all for Steam Deck users. They are that stupid. Wait till this loser finds out that the death to emulation is in another castle.
Ugh, what are Steam Deck users gonna be playing now?
You know, it's funny, I mean, do these guys not realize that even though this one website was taken down, Steam Deck users still have access to more Nintendo games than Nintendo Switch 2 users do? Do they get that? Nintendo takes down a ROM site, and that does what for your console exactly? Does it make games come to it faster? The hatred that they have for Steam Deck and Steam Deck users is all because we can play their games. That's it. That is what pisses them off. The only other reason I could think of is that they care about the well-being of this company, but that would be corporate elitism. And I have no idea why I'm saying that, like that's out of the realm of possibility when it's more than likely the case. These guys are very protective of Nintendo. Every dollar that doesn't make it Nintendo's way, they make their business. which is an odd thing to be spending your free time doing. Because while you're taking victory laps over Nintendo trying to take down ROM sites, this company is actively selling you cartridges that actually don't have the games on them, and you look the other way at what is clearly an issue that affects you a lot more than some Steam Deck users emulating games. The right level of hatred, but for the wrong people. These guys have signed their souls away on a EULA that says they can't file a class action lawsuit against Nintendo, and they signed that with a big old smile on their face. But somebody dares to emulate or download a ROM, and they want the US government to use your tax dollars to stop it, instead of actively trying to go against these corporations more. It's no wonder we're in the predicament that we are with how this industry operates. It's an age of corporatism, where the corporations are consuming more of the people's souls than the people are consuming the products. They live and breathe for this billion-dollar company. So if they see you emulating on the Steam Deck, that's a personal attack on them. Chances are they'll be less offended if you fuck their mom than if you played Tears of the Kingdom on your Steam Deck. An interesting update nonetheless. It seems that the FBI is cracking down. At the snail's pace that this type of stuff happens, 10 other piracy sites just opened up. The FBI can try as hard as they want to protect Nintendo, but all they're going to do is motivate pirates even more, because that's just how the world of piracy operates. You can shut down ROM sites, but you can't get rid of ROMs altogether. It's pointless. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.
Free Congo sucks ass.